Hi, everyone. Coach Sullivan here again with MGS Coaching Football. To my subscribers, I thank you, and to those who haven't yet, I really hope you do. I just completed my 38th year coaching football, and during that time, this year I was an defensive coordinator, but during that time, I've been an offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, longtime head coach, and all of this at both the collegiate and high school levels. What I would like to talk to you about in this presentation is part of our 3-4 front package that we call Tite front. Okay, Tite. And I'm going to show it to you verses 11 and 21 personnel. So there's a tight end in the football game, and we're really anticipating a tight end formation. Okay, so what I'm going to do over here is go through the key terms as it relates to the Tite front. Okay, it's part of our base package, so I'll go through that with you. And then over here, I'm going to show it to you illustrated versus 121 formation and 111 formation, but it'll give you the gist of alignment rules and how everything plays out as far as gap responsibility, run supports, etc. I'll go through briefly how we adjust to motion, but I'm not going to make that a big focal point. So here we go. Non-subscribers, if you push the button, you'll have access in my base fronts on the whiteboard, how we adjust to motion and tight end trade and so forth. So subscribers, it's the same. We're in base. Okay? All right. So with all of that then, let me start with the key terms. And the first being the name of the front, Tite front. That means we're going to have the 3 technique on the tight end side. Okay, so that'll give us a 3 and a 9 technique on the tight end side with a 1 and a 5 away. Okay, so everybody got that? So we'll say, as you'll see, right, or left. That sets our box personnel. And then we frequently will make a bump call just to kick the front away from the tight end if we need to. That's where our inside linebackers come in, but I'll cover that when we get to the diagram portion. So versus 21 personnel, number 2, keeping in mind, this is our base set of rules. Okay, so again, subscribers, you know what that means, but non-subscribers, push the button and you have access to everything. So versus 21. Sorry. 21. There we go. I was off the screen. I screwed myself up. When it's 21 personnel, right, the Mike and the Rover go to the tight end. They travel together. Diamondbacker go away from the tight end. Okay, pretty simple. 11 is going to be different than 21. Okay, so 21, Mike and Rover travel to the tight end. Diamondbacker travel together opposite. 11. Number 3, again, still base rules, non-subscribers. The Mike and the Rover still travel together to the tight end, but now the backer goes opposite the tight end, and so now the dime goes to the lizard rip. Oh, see, the lizard rip might be on the side of the tight end. So that I'll go over with you in the 11 portion of the diagram. Okay, I'll go over that with you. And that part of the way we handle things in base is the reason for that. So the only difference between 21 and 11 is the dime does not travel automatically with the backer. Okay, and then when I show you that, it should make sense as to why. Okay, so the good news here, number 4, run support, the same, which means it's sky unless. And so you'll see what that means when I go through it with you in the diagram. Okay, and again, that's our base way of handling it. But subscribers. And then number 5, when it comes to the secondary, it's not that I'm neglecting them. Ball's in the middle of the field like it is here. The field corner and the free safety travel to the lizard rip. Boundary corner and the whip go opposite. Ball's on the hash, which I'm not going to do here, but ball's on the hash. Field corner, hence the name, and free go to the field. Boundary corner, hence the name, and the whip into the boundary. Okay, there it is. Boom, done. Okay, but what I also will share with you is how it affects the secondary's depth from the line of scrimmage when it's 21 versus 11. Okay, so with that, let's get to the diagram portion of it. So up top here, I have 21 personnel, I pro. I got to come up with a formation, so there it is. Again, it's middle of the field. Okay, so in the I pro, the lizard rip goes to the two receiver side. So in this case, pro 1, 2, it's to the tight end side, and we designate the single receiver opposite 1X. Okay, so because there's two ones, right? In the two back set, sorry. So here it comes, right? Mike and Rover travel. They make a right call. They know what number the tight end is. They're looking for, let's just say it's number 85. Whoop, there's 85. They're screaming right, and they get lined up. So in this particular, in the tight front, the Rover stays in his 2-point stance, but he's tied to the front. So he puts his, say these are the tight end's feet. The Rover's inside toe is on the outside toe of the tight end. Okay, he has a slight stagger in his stance. He stays in a 2-point stance. It's the same guy who's always lined up on the tight end. Okay, I'm going to go across the front now. The defensive end, the stud, bumps down to a 3 technique. And so for us, okay, now his inside toe is on the outside toe of the guard. Okay, since he's lined up in the B gap, his right foot is back, his right hand is down. So gap foot down, gap hand down. That's how we do it. Okay, nose, who is normally, right, toes even stance when he's head up, he's now in a 1 shade, right, 1 and a 5. So here is center's toe. So now his inside toe, which is the one close to the ball, is on the outside toe. So in this case, he's in the left A gap, so his left foot is back, his left hand is down. Gap hand down, gap foot back. That's it. Boom, done. Okay, and now the defensive end, in this case the end, since it was a right call, right? Same thing. Inside toe on tackle's outside toe, left C gap, left foot back, left hand down. There it is. Gap hand down, gap foot back. Okay? And it's a slight stagger. So now let's go back over here to the mic. Okay, he lines up on what we call a C split on the tackle. So now his inside toe is on the tackle's outside toe. When I stand behind the defense, when we look at the tight copy, there should be a body lined up in every gap. D, C, B, right? Not in this case A, but A, B, C. If they line up, tangible landmarks, toes on toes. He's a 51, right? 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5. Okay? The backer, going opposite the tight end because it's 21 rules. Inside toe guards outside toe, B split. Right, he's a 31 technique because we have a 5 here. He's got the C gap. They just switch. The dime gets just outside of striking distance from the defensive end. Okay, stays in a 2-point stance. He is a spill defender because here is our run support. Same, sky and less. 2 is not removed. There is no number 2. 2 is the tight end. So they're 2 by 8. That's part of moving up. It's sky. 2 by 8. Sky. Corners move up to 4. It's still Oscar. 1 by 4, Oscar, which means outside leverage. 1 by 4, Oscar, outside leverage. Okay? So now we'll come down to the 11 formation. And then this is the one I'll show you how the dime goes to the lizard rip. Okay, so 11 Dallas, middle of the field. Liz, now when the 1 back, right, lizard rip is to the 2 wide receivers. And that doesn't matter if it's into the boundary or to the big field, right, the field. In this case, middle of the field, it's boom done to the 2 wide receivers. So it's a right, tight end's right. That's the call, left or right, not subscribers, right? Correct? Sorry. Okay, so in this case, it's a Liz right. Up there, it was a right rip. That can happen. Okay? So Liz, well, let's start with the secondary. Free and field, our left. Boundary and whip are right because it's a Liz. Now we come back to the fronts, right? It's a right call. There's your rover and the mic. So the 9. Let's just say they need to say bump left. I mean, the longer your players are in the system, they're in tight, they hear right, they'll automatically move left. But in the beginning, you might have to say bumps. Not a big deal. We just say bump left. So now you got your 9, your 3, your 1, your 5, right? 31, B split, 51, C split. There is the tight front. So now, right, run support. Sky and less. 2's not removed. He's tight. So it's Sky over here. C2 is removed. So now it is orbit. Those are our base rules, non-subscribers. Okay, subscribers know all this. Now the safety's 1x12 icon number 2, whereas over here he stays 2x12. They're backed up though, right? 2 back, it's at 8. 1 back, it's at 12. Corners, 2 back, it's at 4. 1 back, it's at 7. 7, still Oscar, right? There it is. So the only thing I want to talk to you about is here, right? 11 personnel, dime to the lizard rip. The only difference between 21 and 11, but it's significant, right? So here it's a Liz. I don't mind doing this because it's not hard for me to do. If the number 2 were over here, it would still be a right, but now it would also be a rip. And so now, the only difference, right? Correct? It becomes a 1X. Non-subscribers, you're going to have to push the button. Now this is the field corner. Since it's a rip, the dime is over here. Now that's how we get our +1 on the perimeter. That's part of our base system. Always have 2 high. Always have +1 on the perimeter. And that's because the dime goes to the lizard rip. So over here now, just saving time. Sorry, I'm doing that. 2x12 stays Sky. Now it's no longer Sky, and he's 1x12, Ike 2, because it's orbit, right? 2 is removed. Here we go. And that's our automatic here versus 3x1. So again, non-subscribers, you're going to have to push the button. Subscribers know all this. But that is why we have the dime to the lizard rip when it's 11. Gives us the ability to be +1 in the perimeter. Okay? Yes, we are minimum box numbers, but guess what? I don't mind doing this for you non-subscribers. The automatic on the snap of the ball is invert, so there we get the guy back in the box again. Okay? So that's our tight front. So now the only reason that we would call tight front, the last thing I want to talk about is it completely changes the blocking scheme and rules. They've been seeing, right, head up 8-4-0-4. Now all of a sudden it's a 4-man front with a 9, a 3, right? It completely changes the blocking scheme. We let our rovers stand up still. Dime still the same. Same down here, especially inside zone teams, okay? This is going to force all single blocks. They're not going to be able to combo block in their zone scheme. Okay, and it changes angles even for the power read. So if this were the gun with an offset and there's zone read, power read possibilities, that tight front 4-man line configuration changes all the blocking schemes. So we don't run it a lot. We run it as a change-up when needed. Okay, whether it's to stop a drive or just to screw up our opponent who maybe hasn't seen a lot of this, that's the reasons why we call it and put it into our game plan. So, as I said at the beginning, my subscribers, I thank you. Non subscribers, I certainly hope I've made the point and get you to push the button. To everyone, please, questions, reach out to me, Coach MJ Sullivan at gmail.com. This platform works. I'd like to thank YouTube for the platform. So, coaches, let's make the most of it.